This is AJ Woodson, Black Westchester. We caught up with Westchester County District Attorney, Democratic primary winner. Did I say that right? Mimi Rocah, who has beat incumbent Anthony Scarpino in a landslide. I have been congratulating her since primary night, but today I can officially say congratulations.
Thank you. Yes, this is the longest drawn out victory ever. But yes, as of today, I am officially the Democratic Party nominee for district attorney. So that feels different. It feels like an honor. It feels special.
And I received a statement from the current Westchester District Attorney, Tony Scarpino. Today I called Mimi Rocah to congratulate her on winning the Democratic nominee for Westchester County District Attorney. I look forward to supporting her and Democrats up and down the ballot in November. It was my honor to serve, all that, blah, blah, blah. But he officially conceded and called you.
That's right. And he did that because basically we reached the point in the counting of the absentee ballots where my lead over him exceeds the number of outstanding votes. So it became literally impossible for him to win at this point. So he did call me to concede, which was very nice.
And you know, we've talked about it, but a lot of us felt that the absentee, the mail-in ballots were going to follow the what happened on primary day from the day people that voted in person, and the numbers seem to have followed that, and your lead only grew.
That's right. The lead has actually grown. I mean, I think that in-person voting, I don't want to get my percentages wrong, but I'm estimating, but it was around 70% for in-person voting and around 72% in the absentees so far, maybe even higher, but overall it's at least a 70% victory, if not more. So that's pretty decisive. And this is the part that I'm most proud of. It's not just from one area of the county. I mean, this win is from every corner of the county. It's every town, every city, every village. I mean, there, at least, you know, with where we are now in the count, we won literally in every town, city, village, area of the county.
On primary night, with those who voted in person, there wasn't a district that he won. That's what first amazing.
And I think that's held true.
Yeah, that there wasn't one district, and that's uncommon for an incumbent. And with the movement now for criminal justice reform, I think that played a major part in this. And I think the people have spoken that they want to see some change in the district attorney's office, and believe that you will be that change.
That's right. And, you know, that's an important message to be sent. It's a serious message. And, you know, anyone who, I mean, I know you know this because we've been talking a lot over the past few months, but there are a lot of things that I think need to change. You know, as we've discussed before, I think unfortunately some people interpret that as me being anti-cop or anti-law enforcement. I'm not. I'm in favor of good law enforcement and good cops, and that it will, we need to, but we need to change so much in the criminal justice system as a whole. Right. And that includes in the prosecutor's office. We all, I mean, we can do better everywhere. And that's, you know, I think I've had a lot of messages, but yes, that's been a main one. And bringing integrity to the office, ethics, transparency, communication. I mean, one of the things I heard over and over from voters across the county was they felt like they weren't being heard from the DA's office, and they weren't hearing information. They would, you know, bring things and it would go radio silent. So that, you know, that can mean different things, but we're going to set up a real system where people feel like they have a way of communicating with the office. Maybe not, I don't necessarily just mean individually, personally, but that there's real ways for the community through representatives to communicate with the office. And that's obviously more important than ever now.
Now, I've seen other coverage, and other people even before the primary have already said that Bruce Bendish is running against you as a Republican. Now, I reached out to him today and was not able to reach him. And I texted him and he did not respond back. But just before the primary, Scarpino's office had a Mount Vernon police officer arrested for pushing the girl, a handcuffed girl, for excessive force or whatever, something that happened 9-10 months before. But it just was this arrest was, what some people felt just to garner media 10 days or less before the primary. So I bring that up because the attorney representing the officer is Bruce Bendish. So I reached out to him and I spoke to him that day and I asked, everybody has you as the Republican candidate. Are you running? His answer was then, I have not talked to him since then, that he hasn't made a decision. He was waiting to see what happened at the primary, and that the Republican Party has not even endorsed a candidate yet, and they would be doing so. If they will, they're going to be making a decision on if they will even endorse a candidate after the primary. Now we're after the primary. I have not seen anything official from him, but when I talked to him then, June 8th, June 10th, something like that, he had told me that he hadn't even made a decision and thought about running yet. He's waiting to see what happens. So I just want to say that because everybody has written him already as he will be challenging you in November. I don't know that to be true, but I will say though, in the county of Westchester, it's heavily Democratic. Usually when you win the Democratic nomination, you usually ease on down the yellow brick road to the general election. So that's usually how it goes.
Well, we'll see. I mean, right. As far as we're planning, maybe that'll change. And, while registered Democrats certainly give us an advantage, I learned to take nothing for granted.
Absolutely.
In politics or elsewhere.
Absolutely.
So, and I think our message is a pretty universal one, though, that, to reasonable, moderate Republicans, it should have appeal, I hope.
And I took a brief break after the primary over to my sister's house. My sister wanted me to tell you congratulations when it was time to tell you congratulations. So from my sister, congratulations.
Oh, that's very nice. That's very nice. Yeah, I'm glad you got a break because you've been working hard too.
Yeah. So what are your plans now? Like, with the primary earlier, because it used to be September, then you had to literally now switch and start your campaign for the general election. There is time now. Do you get to take a break now, or what do you do?
I thought this would feel like more of a break than it has. I will be taking some time off, with my family. I think we all need to recharge a little bit in August. But we're doing what my campaign has proved that it does very well, which is pivoting. We're pivoting to November. Obviously not at the same degree of pace that we were in the primary, especially at the end. But everything takes longer now, especially because everything is virtual and people are kind of zoomed out, and so you have to really plan it out. And I'm going back to a mode of talking to people, and not just for the campaign, but while again I'm not taking anything for granted, I also don't want to show up on January, if I'm lucky enough to take the office, without having done as much as I can do to be prepared for the kind of changes that we want to make. So, I'm reading and talking to people at think tanks and people who have been thinking about these problems for decades, and these aren't new problems. And there are a lot of really smart people who have been thinking about them and trying to put together solutions. So I've already really just am excited about some of the possibilities of things we can do. And, you know, right now it's kind of just informally learning for me, which is important. I mean, I never claim to have all the answers. I never want to claim to, you know everything. I think part of what this job is being able to listen to people with expertise in all different areas. And so that's what I'm trying to do now.
I also want to congratulate you on running a great race with the limitations of this election season like we've never seen before with the pandemic. We've never had a situation like this. So everything was different from campaigning. Of course, you couldn't go to the train station to hand out literature. You couldn't really do town halls and meet people in person and speak at churches and stuff. Churches was closed. That's one of the biggest things people do for the Black community, go to all the churches and talk. You know what I mean? Like churches were closed. Like everything was different. And you still managed to maneuver and navigate through that well and run a great campaign.
Yeah, and look, I credit a great campaign team for that. With that, you know, the ability to pivot from, okay, this is the plan we had, and now we got to completely scrap that and come up with another plan. And I'm not saying it, you know, nothing is smooth, nothing is easy, but they did it. I had, you know, just a fantastic campaign manager, fantastic people in different areas of the county, Aleda Castile in Mount Vernon and others. You know, just really, you know, pounding the pavement. Affected voices in the communities from Black Westchester to, you know, different community groups and organizations and leaders. I think the grassroots base that we had really made all the difference here in that.
Damon was in process of doing something, getting something done to his car or something, so he wasn't able to just tune in, but he wanted me also to say congratulations.
I'm very humbled and grateful to the voters of this county, and particularly, you know, in Mount Vernon, you know, people really showed up. They showed up on election day. They showed up with absentee ballots. They made their voices heard. And, you know, I know that in this time in particular, that's not easy to do. And that means a lot. And you know, I'm going to really try to honor the faith that's been put in me by so many people.
And I said it before, thank you for making us look good by endorsing you. You know, we've endorsed others that have won and made us not look so good. Like, what was we doing? But thank you. I think you will continue to make us look good, that we told everybody that you were the candidate.
Thank you for your support.
Yes, yes, yes. Get some rest, spend some time with family, all that, and enjoy it. Just enjoy it.
Thank you. Thank you, AJ.
All right, all right.